Hello, and welcome to this class about staying sober for happy holidays. You're going to learn how to create and use a toolbox for staying sane and even happy throughout the silly season and all year long. I'll start with what you already know, which is it's about more than abstinence. You need real skills to stay in recovery and to build a fabulous new life. So you'll have to learn how to take care of yourself, how to set and keep boundaries, make priorities, and yes, make hard choices. I'm Mag Sheridan, and my passion is about helping people who have figured out that drinking doesn't work for them, figure out what comes next so that they can still have a great social life and a fun, sustainable life in sobriety. I recognize and acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation as the traditional and ongoing custodians of the lands and waters where I am. And I acknowledge the custodians of the land you're on today, wherever that is. Tonight we'll talk about how essential it is to be prepared. And we'll talk about 3 different scenarios that are common and what the most common pitfalls are in each scenario. Instead of a list of tasks for you to do, you'll be learning a framework, a recipe where you can make your own plan for success that works for you. And you may start to believe that happy holidays are actually possible. We all have goals all the time, and around this time of year, we want to be able to enjoy a night out without the messiness that we used to experience. We want to maintain the relationships that we have at the same time, and it can be really tricky to balance taking care of me and taking care of them. We also want to actually have fun in the process, and it's not too much to ask. The way that we accomplish these kind of personal evolution, self-management kind of goals is by using our toolbox. There's no one fix, so you need an entire toolbox, not just one tool. The toolbox is a list of things that help you, and they need to be able to cover different ways of helping you, meeting different needs that you have at different times. If you have been following me on Facebook, you've seen a lot of different suggestions about what goes in a toolbox. It's not just about yoga and meditation. My toolbox also includes dancing, music. It also includes taking a bath and watching Star Trek and printing out my photos and eating breakfast. So you'll see there's a wide variety of things that you can identify work for you and then put them into place so that you stay strong and happy over this period. It can be hard to actually put these tools into use, and I have a separate class about how to use the toolbox, which I'll send out to everyone who's watching this class. The 3 main skills that we're talking about are awareness, options, and action. Awareness means knowing what your state is and knowing what need is underneath that state. Options means having this full toolbox where you can meet a bunch of different kinds of needs. And action, actually putting them into place when you need them or in advance. The first scenario that I want to talk about is going to a party, because that's the most common thing that's happening this time of year. The first tool is choice, and that means that you don't have to go. You really don't. Even if you always go or people are demanding that you go, you don't have to go. If you decide to go, make sure you phrase it to yourself as I'm choosing to go because I want to support the family. I want to bond with my coworkers. Whatever it is, you want to remind yourself that you're in charge and that you have the power to make a choice. The next thing I recommend is bringing your own beverages. Even if the host has said they'll have something for you, make sure you have something that you will like. And you might want to keep it in your hand throughout the night so that a well-meaning person doesn't keep offering you alcohol. The next strategy is taking a break. You can pretend that you left something in your car and go get it. You can take a walk. You could offer to take the host dog for a walk if they have one, but you don't need an excuse. You can just take a break. Another important thing is to be well fed and well rested before the event happens. Even if the party is going to include delicious food, you don't want to go into it in a depleted state, which will make you more likely to give in to a temptation. And being rested in advance means that you'll be able to access the parts of your brain that are going to help you choose a tool and put it into place. The last strategy for handling a party is go. When you're done with the party, give yourself permission to leave, even if it seems early. Give yourself a way out. The next scenario is in case of feeling anxious. This is a common thing around this time of year, and you'll probably have the urge to reach for tools that are soothing, like a bath or a TV, calming music. These are great, especially when it's mild anxiety, but it's a mistake to leave it at that. Think about trying to calm a squirming puppy. You can't just squeeze them in a blanket and get them to calm down. So in this case, what you need is to get it out of you. Release that energy with some writing, some talking, some 5-minute art. Even just humming can get that vagus nerve balanced, and it's a great way to shift when you're feeling anxious. Movement is a great way, whether that means just going to a different room or going for a walk. Even quicker still, give your body a hard shake. Think about that puppy again. Ugh. Get it out of you. On the other end of the scale, loneliness is really common around the holidays, and it can be really magnified when you're spending a lot of time around people who are drinking when you're not. In this case, you need activating more than soothing. So you'll want a different type of music or a cool shower or a vigorous walk or dance. It's really great if you can push yourself to reach out to someone. And this can be really hard when you're feeling lonely and also really powerful. If you don't feel up to giving a call to someone, maybe you just send a text to a friend. Maybe it's just one emoji. Maybe you get onto an online group like She Recovers Together or Booze Free Brigade and make a couple of comments on other people's posts so that you can connect across the internet with people who are in the same scenario you're in. I like to have a distraction that involves using my hands. So if I can do some cleaning or some cooking, that's great because I move my body and I have a tangible result at the end. It doesn't directly address the cause of the loneliness, but it is a great way to burst out of that inertia. The biggest mistake is to give in to the temptation to just curl up on the couch. You might have on some boring TV, and at the same time, you're scrolling on your phone. This is just going to give that unhappy internal voice a lot of space to fill your brain. So don't give in to that kind of temptation when you're feeling lonely. You might notice that these kind of tools that you would use for anxiousness can also be really good when you're feeling angry. let yourself write about it for 5 minutes. And you'll not only get the clarity in your thoughts, but your emotion will find some release. The strategies that we talked about for loneliness can also be really good for boredom and letting yourself feel that boredom, and then also shaking it off with some activity will let you move on to the next step. So as a reminder, the idea is to observe and understand your needs, and then pick something that can fill that need and actually do it. Awareness, options, and action. So we covered one mistake in each category above. The biggest mistake overall is not being prepared in advance and just assuming she'll be right. This kind of attitude, feeling that it just is what it is and you don't have any way to change it, that is a lie in your head, and it leads to a disappointing outcome. So your mission is to be prepared and use your tools. That last bit is tricky because how many times have you heard, or have I said myself, I know what to do, but I can't really make myself do it. It's really hard to take the time. It's hard to change your default pattern. It's hard to make it a priority. So if you take only one lesson away from tonight, let it be this: you've got this. It is possible, and it's possible for you. You have the power to shift your experience around the silly season, and it is worth the effort for you to do that. One tool you might want in your toolbox is working with me specifically, and I have a special on 1-hour sessions through the end of the year where we work with the body over Zoom and make a fast, deep, and lasting change in your relationship with yourself, and your ability to put these new skills into place. I am Mag Sheridan. I am your Mojo mentor, and have a great holiday season.